Hello. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the medical terminology course. My name is Denise Hallmeyer, and I am your instructor for this section of medical terminology. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pull up the Moodle shell. We're going to look over the Moodle shell first, and then we'll look at some of the documents and objectives for the course. So this is the Moodle shell. You all should have access to the course, and it is our learning management system that we use here at Cape Cod Community College. All of our course documents are on here, links to get into the course resource, which is Cengage MindTap. There are just activities such as discussion forums on this site. There are also places to submit a paper that is one of the assignments for the course. So it starts off with just the course description, and it just discusses how medical terminology, what is it? It's the study of principles of medical word building. It is the language of the medical field. It's going to help, you'll be looking at different components of parts of words that you can help decipher what the meaning of a term is. We look at things like the root of the word. We look at the prefix and the suffix. And if you learn or memorize these prefixes and suffixes and what some of the root words mean, you can often put together the definition of a medical term. So as a nurse myself, I use medical terminology every day, something that I build on every year that I have, been a nurse. So we're always learning in medicine. There are new procedures and all different types of things that we're learning every day. So you will receive a thorough grounding in the basics of medical terminology through this study of root words, prefixes, and suffixes. Not only will you be learning about the terms, you'll be practicing your pronunciation, and we'll be discussing things like anatomy and physiology, pathology of disease, so that you can better understand what these terms mean. If you scroll down on the course site, you'll see links to Cengage MindTap. So if you can purchase the resource for the course, which is Cengage MindTap, either through the link in Campus Web, through the course description, or you could purchase it right here through this link. So if you click right here to register, it will take you into Cengage, and there's also an instruction sheet that was sent to you via email that can assist you in registering for the course. Should you need resources, there are links within this URL resource that will take you to specifics about how to register. And then there's also a site for IT support if you are having problems with getting registered. It's really important that if you are having difficulty gaining access to the resource or just specifically to our course, that you right away let somebody know, whether you first go to Cengage Help or you email me. It's really important that you communicate and that you don't get behind in the course. The next things posted on the Moodle shell are what we call the ICO, or the instructor course outline. I do have that pulled up, and we'll go over that in a moment. We also have the course calendar and assignments. I would suggest that you print both of these and put them in a binder that you can refer back to quickly and easily, or save them to a folder on your desktop specific to this course. If you have an agenda, or if you have, you put assignments on your calendar in your phone, it's critical that you put in all the assignment due dates, especially when the exams are. If for this course you're offered the exam access over a 3-day period. If you miss all 3 of those days, you get a 0. You're given three days to complete it. I encourage you not to wait till that last day because you never know, what emergency can come up. So if you've taken it early on, you obviously just need to be prepared to test earlier. It will, prevent that from happening. I'll have students who, they'll get sick on that 3rd day and you've had 3 days to take it. So it's really important that you plan ahead and you put these dates in your calendar. If I do not hear from you, it's an automatic 0. So it's really important to communicate. There is an online interaction plan that basically reviews the ways we communicate in an online course here at Cape Cod Community College. So you can email me or we can set up a Zoom appointment. I do have an office. I'm nursing faculty, so I'm off campus and clinical several days of the week. So Zoom for an online class is the accepted method to communicate. I've spoken with students over the phone as well. So whatever works best for you. All right, so I am going to pull up the instructor course outline, which is right here, and has my email address and my name. It's Denise Hollemeyer, and I mentioned that I work full-time in the nursing program. I've been a nurse for since 1990, so quite a long time. I've been here at the college for over 20 years. And I've just been teaching medical terminology for about the last 3 years, and I've very much enjoyed teaching this course. All the student learning objectives are listed here, so you'd want to look over those because they often will give you clues as to what I see as important in terms of testing. Teaching procedures include activities and assignments through Cengage MindTap. So we will go into Cengage and I will show you where to find these activities and assignments. There is one discussion forum. Basically, you just have to introduce yourself. I will show you where that is on Moodle. And it's in the first week's activities. So it's a basic introduction. There is a research paper. There are 3 exams. And there is a final exam. So a total of 4 exams. This graph right here breaks down the percent of grade for each area. So for that course introduction, it's just worth 5%. Make sure you do it. That's an easy 5% of your grade. The MindTap activities, so that's all of the assignments within Cengage, your homework that helps prepare you for your exams, that is highly weighted at 30%. So I see that as very important that you practice prior to taking exams. There is a research paper and there's a module on Moodle just for the paper that includes the study guide for the paper, a sample paper, and some information on the required formatting that is required for the paper. And we use APA 7th edition for this course. So it's important that you are familiar with that format and that you're able to reproduce a paper using that format, or you don't get full points. So we'll talk more about that. There's also a plagiarism assignment. I believe it's the 3rd week of class where you click on a link. It takes you into an assignment. And then immediately following, you can take a quiz on the information that you read. Students who go right into the quiz that don't read the assignment have to retake the quiz over and over till they get 100%. So I would recommend you spend some time in the assignment and then you take the quiz and hopefully just have to do it one time. But you can retake that quiz up until you get that 100%, which is required. Each exam is worth 30, the exams 1 through 3 in total is also worth 30%, with each exam worth 10%. The final exam is worth 20%. Next, it goes into the proctoring system for this class. The exams are online. They are taken through Cengage, but you must access Cengage through a link in Moodle. Okay, the link in Moodle is actually set up and it's called Proctor Free. It's what we use for our proctoring system. So academic integrity obviously is important to a course. We want to make sure that it is you that is sitting for your exam and that you are not on your phone and that your screen stays open to only the exam. We can actually see your screen if you open up any other browsers or windows, we can see that, and it's flagged by the system. So Proctor Free will need to be downloaded. There's also a module within Moodle that shows you that as well. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is important. We value every student's work and opinion and are respectful of all. So if there's ever any thing that you want to point out that violates that, please do so. There is also a disability statement if you have what we call an individualized education plan. And your provider has documented evidence of a learning disability and you have an accommodation set up, you will need to email me the accommodation plan, and then I will then know what accommodations to make available to you for testing or for any components of the course. This is what the course looks like in Cengage. It's titled Section 21, which is the section number of this course. And it goes from January 20th through, I just went to the end of May, although the course does end sooner than that. You do have access to the site for a full year. All right. I want to show you as well the course calendar. So we're going to pull that up right now. This is also on Moodle. You can click on this. I would highly recommend printing this. And like I said, any exams or major assignments, such as a paper, the plagiarism assignment, put that in your calendar and have reminders that it's coming up, that you need to stay on topic with being prepared for it. Okay. All right. So the course goes by week. The modules in Moodle are also set up by week. So this coming week is course orientation. That includes this right now, which is this recorded review of the instructor's course outline, which I just completed. And then the MindTap activities and the homework. So each week you'll see similar activities that are assigned by chapter in Cengage. And those are all listed here. And then the homework, which is listed over here. So both of these do include listening to a video or completing review of pronunciation, practicing your pronunciation of these terms. And then there's a quiz as well, and occasionally a test that's assigned through Cengage. So anything that's listed as homework on here can just be done through Cengage. You do not need to use Proctor Free for that. There are, like I mentioned, the 3 exams in the final where you will log into Moodle first, click on the link through Proctor Free, which will then take you to a link to get into and access Cengage, which is where you will then take your exam. The first exam is on either February 13th, 14th, or 15th. So you would pick one of those days, and it's on chapters 1 through 4. And like I said, you must access it using Proctor Free. Each of these 3 exams are 50 multiple choice items, and you have 75 minutes or a minute and a half per question. They are multiple choice questions. The second exam is March 6th, 7th, or 8th, and that's over chapters 5 through 7, and is also the 50 item multiple choice, 75 minutes. Our midterm break is the week of March 9th through 15th, so you have nothing due that week. The following week is week 8 of the course. You'll notice that the chapters that are covered, there are just a few weeks where there's more than one chapter covered. So your assignments due that week would include both of those chapters. Exam 3 is April 3rd, 4th, or 5th. It covers chapters 8 through 11, also 50 multiple choice items. The final exam is 100 items, and you'll notice there are topics in between exam 3 and the final. Those are covered with a 50 item multiple choice questions, chapters 12 through 15. And then there is an additional 50 multiple choice items that are cumulative. So it would be from all the prior chapters, 1 through 11, that were covered in prior weeks. So the final is cumulative and is 100 questions, and you would have double the time to take that, so a minute and a half per question. All right, so that is the calendar. Make sure you get those dates first thing right away in your calendar, something you're going to see and know when these dates are coming up, so you can best prepare. All right, we're going to go back to the Moodle shell, and I do want to take you into these modules. So you'll notice the Proctor Free registration information is right here under Proctor Free and Exam Access. So for each of those exams, your Proctor Free link will be here. You'll click on the link, and then it'll take you to another link that you'll click on, which will take you into Cengage. And then it will be the system that records your exam taking. You do need to have a photo ID that you'll use when you set up yourself for the class, and then also when you take each exam, you'll have to show that ID. So make sure you do that, okay? If you have trouble setting up Proctor Free, Moodle student help at capecod.edu is the email address. There's also a support link for Proctor Free help as well. So this is a PDF on how to register. All right, we mentioned the research paper, and these are those resources that will help you. It's due at the very end of the semester on May 4th. Here is the study guide. Here is the APA format. It's like a cheat sheet for using APA, 7th edition. And then here's a sample paper. And I even tell students, you're welcome to use this as a template. So the students this past semester did very, very well on formatting their paper. Just very few had points off for little things because they had this sample student paper. So it gives you a good idea of, what to expect from the paper. I do ask, I believe it's the 3rd week of classes that you let me know via email what you want your topic of your paper to be. So just some topic. It could be like a disease process. Students have picked all different types of things, from Alzheimer's dementia to ALS, bipolar disorder, so many different things. Whatever an area that you'd like to learn more about, It's important you follow the study guide. There are objectives for the paper. It's not just, this is my experience with this disorder. My dad had it, and I just want to talk about that. So it's not, it's a structured paper, and important that you cover all of the things on the study guide if you want full points. Okay. All right, here's the week 1 module. So this is this coming week, January 20th. We have our PowerPoint on Introduction to Medical Terminology. This is a Word document on memorization strategies. This will help you study. It will help give you ideas on how to best study. When we go into Cengage, there are some activities within Cengage that help prepare you, obviously, for the exams. Here we have the discussion forum. This is the only discussion forum. If you click on this, it will take you to the question where it's stated right here. You want to introduce yourself by stating your name, where you're from, what you hope to learn from this course, and then it asks you to create your own medical term for yourself. So you want to it's called a medical mashup, where you take your interests and you create your own little medical term that describes something that you like, perhaps a hobby or your interest. So that's, like I said, 5 points toward your grade. Don't skip it. It's due by the 25th or the end of the week. All right. And then the next week, we just have the PowerPoints, and then it reminds you to go up to the Cengage link at the top. And each week, you're going to click on the Cengage MindTap link, and you're going to access Cengage right from here. Okay. And it's takes you right into the site, or you could log in. So either way, you could log in just from your regular browser. Here's week 3, where I mentioned the plagiarism assignment is due. So the required reading, you just click on this. It will take you into the site. And then you will you'll download, after you've completed it and done the quiz, you'll download a certificate, and then you're going to upload that as a PDF document or a Word document right here. And that's due by the end of this week, which is February 8th. So I believe that's a Sunday. All right, week 4 is exam 1. And it's over chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you're going to access that through all exams. Like I mentioned, you'll be accessing through the first module, which says Proctor Free and Exam Access. So you'll go right to here and you'll click on something. I do send out reminders about this. Okay, so you just continue down week by week and access Cengage. I believe that is everything else are just your assignments through Cengage. So the discussion forum is in week 3. The paper assignment is due on May 4th. So there'll be a place to submit that. All right. So let's go now to Cengage. So you log into Cengage or access it through the link in Moodle, and you'll come to your courses. You will click on your course, and it'll take you right into the course. It may have logged me out since it's been a little bit of time. So I'm going to just close that, and we'll go back here. I'm going to click on the class. And here's the course. So your course page should look like this. It has all the different bullets or its own modules right here. And then you have this area over here I don't believe you had, this is for the instructors, but many of these you have yourself. You should have on My Content. This A to Z glossary, if you want to look up a term quick and easy, you can click right here. And let's say you want to look up the term abduction, the quick definition. You've got it right here. So this is in alphabetical order. You can click on any letter and it'll take you to whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay. The full book is right here. So you can access the e-text. So this, if you want a hard copy, bindered text, you can purchase that. You could probably get it pretty cheap on Amazon as well. This is the 9th edition that we're using for this course, not the 10th edition. So, and this just takes you through page by page through the text, so just how it would look in the text. And like I said, you do have access to this for a year. Study Hub allows you to take notes and highlights from within a text or to set bookmarks. So if you have set any of those things within the text, you'll see these little icons throughout the text to bookmark something that you want to go back to or an important page that you want to return to. You can pull those up right here under this study guide. This is a pronunciation or read speaker. If you prefer to have a text read to you, you could do that. The other thing that you have on your access are flashcards. So let's say you want to study some terms. You can, for example, this is a suffix because it's at the end of a term. You have the prefix, which are typically your first 3 letters. You've got often a vowel that may be the connector between the prefix and a root word. And then you have this last part of the word, which is a suffix, so it goes at the end. So if I'm testing myself, I see the term algia, and I'm going to think, okay, what does that mean? I think of like the term myalgia or arthralgia, with my being muscle, arth being joint, and then algia means pain. So then I can flip the card and I can confirm that yes, I was correct, or no, I'm incorrect. It also includes suffering, that term, so pain or suffering. You can shuffle the deck, you can do a previous card, you can create your own card, and this is one nice way to practice content for whatever chapter you're on. All right, so let's now go to the content. So let's say it's the course orientation week. So we've looked at the course calendar and we see that this is the course orientation. I've got my information here on memorization strategies as well as on Moodle. And then there's a drop down right here. And it says learn how to use Pronounce. So Pronounce is one of the assignments within the course within Cengage that you're going to be using. And you would just click on the drop down. Make sure you click on all drop downs with all of these, because sometimes there's hidden things. I know I'm like, oh, okay, I looked over everything, and then I click on a drop down and there's a whole bunch of additional things under that drop down. So make sure you do complete everything that is visible and assigned to you here. So this is part of course orientation, so you want to complete that. Like I said, you get 30% of your grade is completing these each week. And it's by chapter, okay? So on the weeks where there's 2 chapters, you would need to do those 2 chapters in that week. The big, most important thing I can say is don't get behind on this. Don't wait, till right before the exam to go in and go over all of these assignments. You want to do them each week. There are some assignments that make you look back at the previous chapter that's going to help you retain the information for your exam, for when you sit for the test. An important link is this video library by chapter. So this includes every single content topic by chapter here. So what I would do if I were looking at chapter 1, I can click on these links and it's going to take the most important thing from the PowerPoints And this is like your lecture content. They're typically, each video is very short, anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes. And you're going to just click on it, you're going to watch it, and you can take notes on it, whatever you need to do, but it's going to help you with that week's content. So like I said, it pulls the content from the PowerPoints and reviews it. So here's chapter 2, which covers body planes, directional terms for the body, things like anterior, posterior, sagittal. There's all different types. There are different body cavities, different quadrants of the abdomen. There's 9 sections of the abdomen, so you need to know what those are called. And then there's 4 quadrants. So this would break that down, those important things that you'll then be tested on later. And then chapter 2 also covered endocrine and exocrine glands in this chapter. Then we have chapter 3 and chapter 4. So these are just little video snippets on the content. Okay, so you want to make sure you listen to those. All right, so let's say for this week, we've got chapter 1. You've done your course introduction. Now you're ready for chapter 1. There are 24 activities. They don't take very long to do, but it will take some time. So you want to set aside a time each week. This is your medical terminology class. You're going to go over all of this information. This will take you right into chapter 1, or you could go to the book over here, like I mentioned, and find chapter 1 as well. But this just highlights chapter 1. And then you'll notice a drop-down arrow. So under primary medical terms and word parts, there are these, there's an introduction. There is this information here. These are just words, primary medical terms and word parts. And then there are these activities. So this is your homework. Some students have already started, that are already enrolled in the class, and they've begun working on these. So you'll complete each of these. And then we have our medical dictionary use under spelling. So it's important that you learn how to spell these terms. If you can't spell them, you're not going to be able to pronounce them. So these are all just exercises in helping you learn these terms. All right, and then there's look-alike, sound-alike terms. So you're going to review these. And then we come to the study it part. So this is listed in that far right column on the calendar. And it's the actual homework. So you'll complete, after doing all of these, you'll do quiz chapter 1, and then pronounce, and then quiz chapter 1, intro to medical terminology. And then there's the test chapter 1. I don't always assign the tests in each chapter. As long as you're doing the quizzes, it should prepare you for the exam. Okay. So each week you go to the appropriate chapters and do all the content under that chapter. So the first exam is at the end of the week, that is the 4th week, which is the week of chapter 4. So what you'll notice is you have all the different components that you've dropped down and completed, but at the very, very end, you'll see exam 1. And it unlocks on February 13th, and you'll see that corresponds to your calendar on the calendar that you have, where it shows it's available beginning the 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'm not sure if you can see this until around the 13th when it opens up, but do remember that this is when the exam is. So you're going to be looking for that in week 4, okay? So you have those 3 days. You can take it anytime, and whatever's convenient to you. And this counts toward your grade. So each of these exams, if you remember, was 10% of your grade. Okay, so for a total of 30%. And then with the final and that last exam being 30% of your grade. So choose one of those dates. I do ask that you let me know what day you're going to take each of these exams, just so I know it's on your radar, you're thinking of it, you've set aside a time. When I don't hear from a student and then you don't show up to take that exam, it appears that you've completely forgotten about the exam. So it's critical that you communicate with me, or you get a 0 if you do miss an exam. You can make up one exam. If you miss more than one exam, you get a 0 for that exam. Okay. All right. So, like I said, each of these, make sure you click those drop down arrows. There's a nice comprehensive review at the end that will show you how to study for the final. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. If you would like, if you have any trouble or if you have additional questions or you'd like to meet with me via Zoom, please email me. I would be glad to set up a time to Zoom with you. All right, I am going to stop sharing. And I'm going to open this up. And I do just want to say, every so often, a student will come into an online class never having taken an online class, and just have so much difficulty. It's impeding their ability to make progress in the course. And if you're in that category, email me right away. There are some resources. I was at a meeting just this last week, and have some names of some peer mentors that their sole purpose is to help other students with IT help within their courses, whether it's an on-campus course or an online course. So I did sign up to get our own peer mentor for this course. So if you have trouble, unfortunately, I'm not the best person to help you. I wish I was more tech savvy, but there are times I'm calling them and using them myself. So I might be able to help you, but these peer tutors or Moodle Student Help, if it's a problem you think within Moodle, the Cengage help link that I put, if you're having problems with Cengage specifically, within Cengage, you want to contact Cengage first and try to troubleshoot it that way. So kind of try to figure out where you think the problem is. If it's our IT support that can help you, it's 4004, or you can just in your two email browser window, put in help desk, and you can email them directly, and they'll open up a ticket and somebody will get back with you right away. They're really quick. So don't give up. Try to, ideally, you've taken the digital tech course. It's not required, but really should be, especially for anybody taking an online course. So that's already been offered prior to the start of the semester. But email me right away if you're having problems, if you need help. If you need to drop out of the course, there are 2 on-campus sections. So if you drop out early, you can get right into those. They all use Cengage, the same book, and you should be able to slide real easily into an on-campus course if that's going to be best for you. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you this semester. And I wish you much success. All right.